Well, I promised everyone an update, and I know it's been a long time, so I figured I'd go ahead and do one real quick. This is the garden, well, part of the garden. My cabbage plants and my broccoli plants are doing great. My one little cucumber is not doing too bad. The other three died, and that's what those three little empty spots are right there. Here's one of my other beds. I've got onions here, broccoli, cabbage, and tomatoes. My cabbage and my broccoli in this bed aren't doing as good as the other bed because I didn't fertilize them at the same time. Those ones got fertilized, those ones didn't. And here's my squash. It's just going gangbusters since we got all that rain. And actually, I noticed today, oh, there it is, I got me a little yellow zucchini squash growing. You see a little squash right there? Ah, I'm so tickled about that. It's not very big, but it's there. Silly chickens. These are my zucchini squash. I've got a lot of buds, or flowers, getting ready to come out. So I'm hoping to get some zucchini. I sprinkled dust on everything, just to make sure. Something was tearing up my eggplant. See the holes in the leaves? I might have overkilled on that one, but... And I got some flowers coming out on my tomatoes, but they're not actually producing anything yet. And on my little peppers. Let's see right here. See, I've got a little bitty pepper right there, or flower getting ready to come out. I don't know if you can see it. Got flowers on that one too. These four here are jalapeno, and that one is a chili pepper. And I have a little volunteer watermelon plant. It came up, I guess, from a seed from last year's plant that was there. And this is my stevia. It is going gangbusters. I didn't really expect it to make it, but it did. And this is my quote-unquote herb garden. It's not doing all that great, but I had to replant a lot of stuff several times. There's my cilantro. My chives, if you look real close, you can see little itty-bitty chives coming up. They're not doing all that hot, though. I think something's in here nibbling on them. That's actually several marigold plants. Basil. That one is dill. And that one is fennel. I so look forward to being able to use this stuff. And there's my thyme, my common thyme. It's coming up pretty good. And my cumin is finally starting to come up a little bit. My oregano just not produced anything. And my marjoram. And I think I actually have one echinacea plant that came up. There's one little bitty plant right there. Not sure if that's what it is or not, or if it's just a weed. That's one of the ones that I replanted, and those are calendulas, and they're doing great. This was the first thing to come up in my little herb garden. Oh, that one's actually putting on a bud. Right here. That's cool. And here is my strawberry bed. You see little spots of red? Yes, I have fresh strawberries in my strawberry bed. And I'm thinking about going ahead and planting these plants in there because they'll do better. I've actually got some little strawberries on them too. And our seedlings. Green beans aren't doing all that great. I have one row of green beans come up and nothing else. I got one red bean that came up, and it looks like 3 black beans. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 3 black beans, and a couple of Swiss chards. Lettuce, and that's more lettuce. Actually, yeah. And, oh hell, actually I'm not sure what these are. I planted lettuce, spinach, and celery, and something else, I think. Brussels sprouts, that's right. So, I'm not really I didn't label them. Shame on me. But I've got some kind of cucumber or something coming up in here. Not quite sure. And then these are what's left of the yard long beans that didn't get planted out in the garden. Out there. Take you out there in a sec. Well, this is our other garden. This is our in-ground garden. And these right here, that first row, these plants here, those are potatoes. We had some in the house that were sprouting like mad. So my husband brought them out here and planted them in the garden. And they're doing darn good, actually. You know, it's like a 30-foot row. And then these little plants right here, whoop, right here, that row of plants right there, those are yard-long beans called asparagus beans. And this row right here, where you see nothing, was where I planted my pea seeds. Needless to say, they didn't come up. I'm going to go around to the other side. Here's some of the roosters. Got 12 of these little buggers running around. There's one. There's one over there. One over there. One way over there. Oh, and there's another. They're loud and noisy and annoying. He's my favorite out of all of them. Anyway. This is my tomato row. Right here. All the way down, we've got a bunch of tomato plants. Let's see what we've got here. I also planted out some bell peppers. They're not doing all that great. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bell pepper plants out of 7. But yeah, my tomatoes are doing fairly well. And then I just planted out some more, the last few tomato plants that I had here. That tomato plant's not looking good. Right there. I have to check that thing out. Why are you following me? Anyway. The rest of them are doing pretty good. A little over a foot high. That one right there, that little one right there, that's a cherry tomato that got planted long after these ones did, so that's why it's smaller. And these little bits of green, I had some lettuce seed left over, so I figured I'd go ahead and sow the lettuce seed in between the bed. Oh, there's where we've been burning branches and stumps. Okay, on to the orchard. Well, what I like to call the orchard. We don't have a lot of fruit trees out here yet. Here's the peach tree that we just bought this year and planted. This is one that we bought several years ago and planted. It was planted over here where this first one is, that first blueberry bush, but it wasn't doing well. So we cut it back and we moved it over here. And it's doing pretty good. Actually, I think it had a couple of fruits on it. I don't know if it still does or not. It's probably best that no, they all dried up. Yeah. But this is my fruit tree, my peach tree that I'm the most proud of. Pardon the cars driving down the highway at 65 miles an hour. This tree is the same age as that tree, and this tree has loads of peaches. See, peach, a couple of peaches there, peach there, one there, one there. Well, I don't know if you can see it or not. Oh, okay, there. I'm still getting the hang of this aiming the camera thing. And there's more under here, and one over there. Yeah. Doesn't have quite as many peaches on it as it did before when they were tiny, but it's still got quite a few, and I am jazzed about having peaches this year. Gonna have to keep a real good eye on them, make sure that they actually make it. Oh, yep, there's one under there too. I'd be happy to get at least 4 or 5 peaches off of here. If I get more than that, I'll be ecstatic. He's following me, I'm serious. And these are my blueberry bushes over here. There's a pine tree. They like acidic soil, so we planted them under the pine tree. There's one of them. It did have some blueberries on it, but I think the chickens got to them. Darn chickens. This is the new one that we just bought this year. That one we've had for several years, and we've never gotten anything off of it. This one, oh, look at the spider. Right on the tip. Hello, Mr. Spider. I'll leave you alone. I don't like spiders. And this one actually has some blueberries on it. Not a whole lot of blueberries. But this one we've had for a few years as well. And this is the first year it's actually been in the ground. So I'm hoping we actually get at least a handful of blueberries off of this thing. It'd be nice. Anyway, okay. On to the rabbits. And on the way to the rabbits, I thought I'd stop by and show you the cedar rust on my apple trees. I'm kind of bummed about that. These little orange spots. And there's some, not very many, but there's some on this apple tree as well. I don't know if you can see that or not. But it's still a young tree. There's no fruit on it, so I'm hoping that, you know. Oh, there's our fig tree. It's actually got leaves on it. It used to be a stick in a pot. That's what my husband called it. Okay, on to the rabbits. Down the steps. Chicken. See, I told you, man, he's following me. Okay, here's our girls. Charlie marked. Callie with Rex fur. Callie. And a red-eyed white. Those are my girls. They have all visited the boys within the past week. So I'm hoping in a month. Okay, dude. Seriously. I'm hoping within a month that we'll have baby rabbits. Hello there, girl. She says hi, which is really unusual for her. She doesn't really come to the front of the cage that much. Seriously, dude. Oh, and here's my compost pile, and I have volunteer tomatoes coming up in it. I thought that was kind of cool. They must be Romas, because that's the only kind of tomato I've bought lately. Okay, here's the boys. This is our breeding buck, Callie, marked buck. This is our black buck. And this is a freezer camp buck. This is a freezer camp buck. There's some freezer camp. That's a hen. We'll be keeping her. Him, he's gone. See, there's another one of the hens. Right there. And there's another one over there. The rest of them are all out in the hen pen. For lack of a better way of saying it. And this is also another freezer camp buck. He's in our chicken brooder. We converted it to a rabbit cage. Oh, and there's... Ignore the cardboard laying in the floor. There's our dogs. Those 3 dogs all belong to her. Apollo, you can just barely see him. He's right there behind the gate. That's my dog. Apollo! And that little girl right there, that's little girl. I don't know. Walk you over here real quick. Oh, they're all gonna go nuts now. See, that's little girl. She belongs to her as well. She has given birth to 4 out of the 5 dogs in here. This one is Paws. That one is Boy. And that one is Tipsy. That's Apollo. That's my boy right there. He's part lab. And bouncy as can be. And she is part shepherd. She's noisy too. She'll start whining as soon as I walk away. She doesn't like being out there. Anyway, I'm going to go show you the chicken pen real quick. Here's my hen pen. All 3 of those, or actually I think all 4 of those little ones right there in that corner are the little girls. Oh, there's one of the little girls getting picked on. And there's one of the little girls jumping on my back. I guess she wants some food. Her. All these black ones with the gold are girls. There's another one over here. Right there. All the rest of these are boys. And you're all going to freezer camp. Say yay for freezer camp.